The old ship floated in the dark like a ghost. Captain Jake Morrison pressed his face against the window of his salvage vessel and stared at the strange craft ahead of them. It was big, much bigger than anything his crew usually found out here. In the empty space between stars, the metal hull was black and covered with tiny holes from space rocks that had hit it over many years. "What do you think it is, Jake?" asked Lisa Carter from her seat at the scanner controls. She was young, maybe 25, with short brown hair and quick fingers that never stopped moving over her keyboard. Lisa was the best tech person Jake had ever worked with, and that was saying something after 15 years of picking through space. Jake rubbed his beard and kept looking at the mystery ship. "Don't know. Never seen anything like it. The shape is all wrong for Zephyrian ships. Too smooth, too pretty, I guess." Danny Walsh laughed from the back of the bridge. He was a big man with oil-stained hands who could fix anything that had nuts and bolts. "Pretty? Jake, that thing looks like it got chewed up and spit out by a space monster." "The damage is old," Lisa said, her eyes glued to her screens. "Really old. I'm getting readings that say this ship has been floating out here for maybe 200 years. The power systems are almost dead, but there's still something running inside." Pete Rogers, the youngest member of their 4-person crew, looked nervous. "Maybe we should call this in to the authorities. Big ships like that might be military. The Zephyrians don't like it when people mess with military stuff." Jake turned to look at Pete. The kid was only 19 and still jumped at shadows. Jake couldn't blame him. The Zephyrian Empire didn't mess around when it came to punishment. Step out of line, and you might find yourself working in the mines on some dead rock at the edge of space. The Empire's been ruling human space for 50 years. Pete, if this was one of their ships, they would have come looking for it by now. Jake turned back to the window. "Lisa, can you get us closer? I want to see if there are any markings on the hull." Lisa's fingers danced over her controls, and their small ship moved forward slowly. The mystery vessel grew larger and larger until it filled their entire view. Jake could see now that the ship was not just big, it was huge. Bigger than most of the Empire's warships that patrolled human space. "There," Danny said, pointing at something on the hull. "Look at that section near what looks like the front. Those marks look familiar." Jake squinted and felt his heart skip a beat. There, faded but still visible, were letters painted in white, human letters, English letters. And above them, a symbol he had seen in old history books, an eagle with spread wings. That's an Earth military symbol," Jake whispered. "But that's impossible. Earth hasn't had a military in space for over 200 years. The Zephyrians made sure of that when they took over." Lisa was typing faster, scanner beeping with new information. "Jake, you need to see this. I'm getting inside the ship's computer system. It's old, really old, but still running on some kind of backup power. The security is nothing like what we use now. It's like they never heard of proper encryption." "What are you finding?" Jake asked. "Ship registry says." "Holy stars, Jake. This is HVDX, registry number ... Wait, this can't be right." Lisa's voice got quiet. "According to this, the ship was launched in 2387. That's almost exactly 200 years ago." Pete shook his head. "That's before the Empire came. Before they conquered Earth and all the human colonies. How is that possible?" Danny moved closer to Lisa's station and read over her shoulder. "What else does it say? What was this ship doing out here?" Lisa kept reading, her eyes getting wider. "It says here that the Phoenix was part of something called Project Vanguard. It was some kind of test ship, testing new technology for long-range space travel. The mission was supposed to last 6 months, but..." She stopped and looked up at Jake. "But the ship never came back. It was listed as lost with all hands." "All hands?" Jake asked. "How many people were on board?" "According to this, just one. The captain, Someone named Alex Turner. The bridge went quiet. 4 people stared at the ancient ship floating in front of them, each thinking the same thing. If there had been someone on board 200 years ago, they were long dead by now. Had to be. Wait, Lisa said suddenly. I'm getting life support readings. Weak, but steady. And there's something else. Some kind of advanced medical bay. The computer calls it a cryogenic system. Jake felt his mouth go dry. Cryogenic? You mean like freezing people? That's exactly what I mean. And Jake. The system shows 1 occupant. Status shows as alive but in deep sleep. Danny let out a low whistle. You're saying there's someone alive on that ship? Someone who's been frozen for 200 years. That's what the computer says. Lisa looked up at Jake. What do we do? Jake stared at the old ship and thought about what this could mean. A human from before the Empire took over. Someone who remembered Earth when it was free. Someone who might know things that had been lost when the Zephyrians burned the history books and took over the schools. We go aboard, Jake said finally. We find this Alex Turner and we wake him up. Pete looked scared. Jake, the Empire has rules about pre-conquest technology. If they find out we were messing with an old Earth military ship, then we better make sure they don't find out, Jake said. He turned to Lisa. Can you find us a docking port? Lisa nodded and went back to her controls. Give me 5 minutes. This old ship uses different connections than what we have now, but I think I can make it work. As their small salvage ship moved toward the ancient vessel, Jake wondered what they were about to find. The Phoenix had been floating in space for 2 centuries, waiting for what? Or maybe waiting for who? Soon they would find out. The air inside the Phoenix smelled old and cold. Jake Morrison stepped through the docking tube first, his flashlight cutting through the darkness of the ancient ship. Behind him, Lisa Carter carried her portable scanner while Danny Walsh and Pete Rogers brought tools and emergency equipment. The walls were made of some kind of metal that Jake had never seen before. It looked stronger than anything the Empire used, but it was covered with a thin layer of dust that showed how long the ship had been empty. Their footsteps echoed in the quiet halls. The life support is working, but just barely, Lisa said. Checking her scanner. Air is breathable but cold. Temperature is about 10 degrees below what humans like. They walked down a long hallway lined with doors. Most were locked, but Danny managed to force a few open. Inside they found empty rooms with beds and desks. Everything looked normal, except for how old it all seemed. This is strange, Danny said, running his hand along a wall panel. Look at this technology. Some of it looks more advanced than what we use now, but other parts look really old. Like they were trying new things but didn't have all the pieces yet. Pete stayed close to the group, jumping at every small sound. How long do you think we have before someone notices we're here? The Empire doesn't patrol this area much, Jake said. Too far from anything important. But we should still be quick about this. They found the bridge after 20 minutes of searching. It was bigger than the bridge on their salvage ship, with more screens and controls than Jake could count. In the center was a captain's chair that looked like it hadn't been used in centuries. Lisa plugged her scanner into one of the computer ports and started reading. The ship's main computer is still running. It calls itself Oracle. Really advanced stuff here, Jake. This computer has been running programs and simulations for 200 years without stopping. What kind of simulations? Jake asked. Weapon systems, shield designs, engine improvements. It's like the computer has been trying to make the ship better all this time, even with no one around to tell it what to do. Danny was looking at the weapon controls. Jake, come look at this. These aren't normal ship weapons. Look at the power ratings. This thing could probably blow up a moon. Jake walked over and stared at the numbers on Danny's screen. He didn't understand all of it, but he knew enough about ships to see that the Phoenix had enough firepower to fight a whole fleet of Empire ships. Why would Earth build something like this? Pete asked. I thought humans were peaceful before the Empire came. Maybe they knew something was coming, Lisa said quietly. She was still reading through the computer files. Jake, I found the medical bay. The cryogenic system is 3 levels down. And there's something else. The computer has detailed files about the Zephyrian Empire. Information from before they ever made contact with humans. Jake felt cold despite the ship's warm air. What do you mean? I mean, Earth knew about the Zephyrians years before first contact. They were watching them, studying them, learning about their ships and weapons. This whole ship was designed to fight Zephyrians specifically. The group went quiet. Everyone in human space knew the official story. The Zephyrian Empire had made peaceful contact with Earth and offered to help humans explore the galaxy. Then, when humans had spread to dozens of worlds, the Empire had revealed their true nature and taken control. It had all happened so fast that humans couldn't fight back. But if Earth had known what was coming and built ships like the Phoenix to fight, what had gone wrong? We need to find this Alex Turner, Jake said. He might have answers. They found the medical bay exactly where the computer said it would be. The room was full of machines that hummed softly in the darkness. In the center was a metal bed surrounded by tubes and wires. On the bed, covered by a clear plastic cover, was a man. He looked to be about 40 years old, with short brown hair and a face that seemed peaceful in sleep. His skin was pale, but he was clearly alive. Machines showed his heartbeat and breathing, both very slow but steady. How do we wake him up? Danny asked. Lisa was already studying the medical machines. The computer says the process takes about 6 hours. We have to warm his body slowly or it could kill him. 6 hours? Pete looked nervous. That's a long time to stay here. We don't have a choice, Jake said. Start the process, Lisa. Lisa's fingers moved over the medical controls. The machines began to hum louder, and warm air started flowing around the sleeping man. Numbers on the screens began to change slowly. While they waited, Danny explored more of the ship with Pete. Jake stayed in the medical bay with Lisa, watching the man who had been asleep for 2 centuries. What do you think he'll say when he wakes up? Lisa asked. I don't know. How do you tell someone that everything they knew is gone? That their whole world has been conquered and their people are slaves? Maybe he already knows. Maybe that's why they built this ship. After 4 hours, the man's body temperature was almost normal. His breathing got faster, and his eyes started to move under his closed eyelids. Jake could see that he was starting to drain. Danny and Pete came back with news. They had found the ship's armory, and it was full of weapons and equipment that they had never seen before. They had also found the engine room, which was bigger than their entire salvage ship. This thing could probably outrun any Empire ship, Danny said. The engines are like nothing I've ever seen. And the weapons. Jake, this ship could take on a whole fleet and win. 2 hours later, the medical machines beeped softly. The man's eyes opened slowly, blinking in the soft light. He looked confused and weak, but alive. Jake stepped forward. Hello, my name is Jake Morrison. You're safe. Can you tell me your name? The man tried to speak, but only made a soft sound. Lisa brought him some water, and he drank it slowly. After a few minutes, he tried again. Alex Turner, he said in a voice that was rough. From not being used. Commander Alex Turner, Human Space Navy. What's the date? Jake took a deep breath. This was going to be the hardest thing he had ever had to tell anyone. Commander Turner, the date is October 15th, 2587. You've been asleep for 200 years. Alex Turner stared at him with wide eyes, not understanding. Jake knew that the easy part was over. Now he had to tell this man that the war his ship was built to fight had been lost before it even started. Alex Turner sat on the edge of the medical bed, his head in his hands. Jake Morrison had just finished telling him everything. How the Zephyrian Empire had conquered Earth and all the human colonies 50 years ago. How humans were now nothing more than workers and farmers for alien masters. How the human space navy had been destroyed before it could even fight back. All of it, Alex said quietly. Everything we worked for. Everyone I knew, all gone. Lisa Carter watched him with sad eyes. She had never seen someone learn that their entire world had died while they slept. I'm sorry, Commander. I know this must be hard. Alex looked up at her. His eyes were red, but there was something else there too. Something that looked like anger. How many ships did they have? The Zephyrians? When they invaded, Jake asked. The history books say about 5,000 ships, but that was 50 years ago. They have a lot more now. And humans? How many ships did we have when they came? Danny Walsh shifted uncomfortably. Maybe a few. 100. Most were cargo ships and colony transports. We didn't have much for fighting. Alex stood up slowly, his legs still weak from the long sleep. That's why they built the Phoenix. They knew this would happen. They knew we wouldn't be ready. He walked to the medical bay's computer terminal and put his hand on a scanner. The machine beeped, and the screen lit up with information that Jake couldn't read. Oracle, Alex said. To the computer. Status report. A woman's voice filled the room, calm and clear. Welcome back, Commander Turner. All systems are operational. I have been running continuous improvement protocols for 197 years, 4 months, and 12 days. The Phoenix is ready for combat operations. Pete Rogers jumped when he heard the computer talk. It sounds so real. Oracle isn't just a computer, Alex explained. She's an artificial intelligence. The most advanced one ever built by humans. She's been thinking and learning all this time, making the ship better. Better how? Lisa asked. Oracle, show them the weapon systems, Alex said at the screens. Around the room filled with technical drawings and numbers. Jake saw weapon designs that looked nothing like anything he had ever seen. The power ratings were so high they seemed impossible. The Phoenix was designed to fight enemies much stronger than us, Alex said. Every system, every weapon, every piece of armor was built to give us an advantage against superior numbers. But there's only one ship, Pete said. How can one ship fight an entire empire? Alex smiled for the first time since waking up. It was not a nice smile. Let me show you. They went to the ship's bridge, where Alex sat in the captain's chair. Like he had never left. His hands moved over the controls like he was remembering an old song. The ship began to hum with power as systems that had been sleeping for centuries came back to life. Oracle, bring all systems online. Full combat readiness. Confirmed, Commander. All systems are now operational. I should mention that I have detected 3 Zephyrian patrol ships approaching our position. They will arrive in approximately 30 minutes. Jake felt his heart skip. 3 ships? We need to run. My salvage ship can't fight Zephyrians. Neither can most human ships, Alex said. But the Phoenix can. Oracle, show me the enemy ships. The main screen showed 3 sleek ships moving through space toward them. They were bigger than Jake's ship but smaller than the Phoenix. Each one carried enough weapons to destroy a small planet. Standard Zephyrian patrol cruisers, Alex said, reading the information on his screen. Oracle has been studying their designs for 200 years. We know exactly how to beat them. Danny looked nervous. Commander, I don't think you understand. These aren't the same Zephyrians from your time. Their technology has gotten better. Their weapons are stronger. So are ours, Alex said. Oracle, what improvements have you made to our weapon systems? I have increased plasma cannon efficiency by 340%. Shield strength has been improved by 280%. Engine performance. is now 150% above original specifications. I have also developed 17 new weapon types based on theoretical physics models. Lisa stared at the numbers on her scanner. Those readings can't be right. No ship can generate that much power. The Phoenix isn't just any ship, Alex said. Oracle, prepare for combat. Target the lead ship first. Wait, Pete said. Shouldn't we try to talk to them? Maybe they'll leave us alone if we explain that we're just salvage workers. Alex turned to look at him. Son, I've been studying Zephyrians for my entire career. They don't talk. They don't negotiate. They see humans as property, nothing more. The only thing they understand is strength. The enemy ships were getting closer. On the screen, Jake could see them spreading out into attack formation. His mouth was dry with fear. All of you need to get to your ship and leave, Alex said. This is going to be dangerous. No, Lisa said suddenly. We're staying. You've been asleep for 200 years. You don't know how to work with modern systems. You need us. Alex looked at her for a long moment. You sure about this? If we lose, the Empire will make sure you suffer before you die. We're sure, Jake said. Besides, someone needs to record this. If you're really going to fight them, other humans need to know it can be done. Oracle, bring the Phoenix to full power. All weapons online. All shields up. The ship around them began to sing with energy. Jake felt the deck vibrate under his feet as systems that had been waiting for 2 centuries finally got their chance to work. Enemy ships have opened fire, Oracle announced calmly. Energy beams shot toward the Phoenix, but they hit the ship's shields and simply disappeared. The Phoenix didn't even shake. Our turn, Alex said. Oracle, return fire. Show them what humans can do. The Phoenix's weapons fired, and space lit up like the sun. When the light faded, one of the Zephyrian ships was gone. Just gone. The other 2 ships stopped moving, as if their crews couldn't believe what they had just seen. Impossible, Danny whispered. No, Alex said. Just forgotten. Oracle, target the 2nd ship. The battle for humanity's future had finally begun. The 2nd Zephyrian ship exploded in a ball of fire and metal. Alex Turner watched it die on his screen and felt nothing. These aliens had destroyed his world and enslaved his people. They deserved everything they got. The 3rd ship turned around and ran as fast as it could. Alex almost fired at it too, but stopped himself. He wanted that ship to escape. He wanted it to tell other Zephyrians what had happened here. Oracle, open all communication channels. I want to send a message to every human world in the galaxy. Channels open, Commander. Alex stood up from his captain's chair and looked directly at the camera. Jake Morrison watched him and saw something he had never seen before. This was what a free human looked like. This was what humans were like before the Empire broke their spirit. My name is Commander Alex Turner of the Human Space Navy. To my fellow humans listening to this broadcast, I want you to know that we never surrendered. The fight for our freedom never stopped. Today, we begin to take back what was stolen from us. He paused and looked at the wreckage of the 2 enemy ships floating outside his window. I know many of you have given up hope. I know the Empire has told you that resistance is useless. They're wrong. We have weapons they don't know about. We have technology they can't understand. We have something they will never have, the human spirit that refuses to quit. Lisa Carter was recording everything on her scanner. This message would spread through human space like wildfire. To any humans willing to fight, I'm sending you technical information. Blueprints for weapons, designs for shields, everything you need to build ships that can stand against the Empire. The data packets are being transmitted now on all frequencies. Danny Walsh looked at his instruments in amazement. The Phoenix was sending out massive amounts of information to every corner of the galaxy. Technical plans, weapon designs, tactical information. 200 years of human science that the Empire thought was lost forever. This is just the beginning, Alex continued. The Empire thought they had won when they conquered our worlds. They were wrong. They only won the first battle. The war starts now. He turned off the communication system and sat back down. For a moment, the bridge was quiet except for the humming of the ship's engines. You think anyone will listen? Pete Rogers asked. Some will, Alex said. Humans are fighters. Always have been. The Empire may have beaten us down, but they didn't destroy what makes us human. Oracle's voice filled the bridge. Commander, I am detecting multiple Zephyrian ships entering this star system. A full battle fleet. 67 ships total, led by a dreadnought-class vessel. Jake felt sick. 67 ships? We need to run. Now, Alex said calmly. Running won't solve anything. They'll just hunt us down. Besides, Oracle has been preparing for this moment for 200 years. Preparing for what? Lisa asked. For the real test. Oracle, show me the enemy fleet. The main screen filled with images of Zephyrian warships. They were huge, dark things that looked like metal. Monsters swimming through space. The biggest one was twice the size of the Phoenix and bristled with enough weapons to destroy a moon. That's General Mordok's flagship, Alex said, reading the identification codes. He's one of their best commanders. The Empire must be really angry to send him after us. Danny was looking at the numbers on his screen. Commander, even with all our improvements, I don't see how we can fight 67 ships. The math just doesn't work. The math worked fine against 3 ships, Alex pointed out. Oracle, what's our combat effectiveness against this fleet? Based on my analysis of enemy capabilities and our current systems, we have a 73% chance of victory if we use optimal tactics. Pete stared at the computer screen. 73%? Against 67 ships? Oracle doesn't lie, Alex said. She's been studying Zephyrian tactics for 2 centuries. She knows their weaknesses better than they do. The enemy fleet was getting closer. On the screen, Jake could see them spreading out into attack formation. It looked like a wall of death moving toward them. All of you still have time to leave, Alex said to the salvage crew. Get to your ship and go. This is my fight. No, Jake said. You're going to need all the help you can get. Lisa, can you work with their weapon systems? Lisa nodded. I think so. The basics are the same as modern ships, just more advanced. Danny, we'll need you to keep the engines running. Pete, you handle communications. If we're really going to do this, other humans need to see it. Alex smiled. Welcome to the human space navy, all of you. Oracle, prepare all weapon systems. Maximum power to shields. Let's show these aliens what happens when they mess with humans. The Phoenix began to glow with energy. Every weapon on the ship came online, each one more powerful than entire Zephyrian warships. The shields became so strong they bent space around the ship. Enemy fleet is in weapons range, Oracle announced. Here they come, Alex said. Remember, we're not just fighting for ourselves. We're fighting for every human in the galaxy. We're fighting to prove that freedom isn't dead. The Zephyrian ships opened fire all at once. Hundreds of energy beams shot toward the Phoenix, enough firepower to destroy a small planet. The beams hit the Phoenix's shields and simply vanished, like drops of water hitting a mountain. Our turn, Alex said. Oracle, show them what real weapons look like. The Phoenix fired a single shot from its main gun. The beam of energy was so bright it lit up the entire star system. When the light faded, 5 Zephyrian ships were gone. General Mordok's fleet stopped moving. Jake could imagine the panic on their bridges as they realized they were fighting something beyond their understanding. Oracle, open a channel to the enemy fleet. Channel open, Commander. General Mordok, this is Commander Turner. I'm going to give you one chance to surrender. Leave this system now and never come back. This is your only warning." There was silence for a long moment. Then a harsh alien voice filled the bridge. "Human fool. You may have destroyed a few ships, but we are the Zephyrian Empire. We do not surrender to slaves." "Wrong answer," Alex said. "Oracle, begin the attack. Show them why humans were once feared among the stars." The Phoenix moved forward into the enemy fleet like a shark diving into a school of fish. The real battle had begun. The Phoenix danced through space like it was alive. Alex Turner's hands moved over the controls with 200 years of muscle memory, while Oracle calculated every shot and every move. The Zephyrian fleet tried to surround them, but the Phoenix was too fast, too smart. "Enemy cruiser on our left," Lisa Carter called out from the weapons station. "I see it," Alex said. The Phoenix spun around and fired. The enemy ship broke apart like a toy. Jake Morrison watched the battle from the navigation station and couldn't believe what he was seeing. The Phoenix was fighting 67 enemy ships and winning. Every time the Zephyrians tried a new attack, Oracle was ready for it. Every time they thought they had the Phoenix trapped, it slipped away and destroyed more of their ships. "Oracle, how many ships have we destroyed?" Danny Walsh asked from the engine controls. 23 enemy vessels have been eliminated." Oracle replied calmly. 44 remain operational. General Mordok's voice came over the communication system, speaking in the harsh Zephyrian language. Oracle translated for them. "He's ordering his ships to form a sphere around us," she sighed. "He wants to attack from all directions at once." "Let him try," Alex said. "Oracle, prepare the Nova Cannon." Pete Rogers looked confused. "Nova Cannon? What's that?" "Something Oracle and I designed while you were all sleeping," Alex smiled. Weapon that turns a ship's entire power supply into a single shot. We've never tested it before." "Never tested it?" Pete squeaked. "What if it doesn't work?" "Then we all die," Alex said simply. "But if it does work, it'll end this battle right now." The Zephyrian ships formed a perfect sphere around the Phoenix, with General Mordok's huge flagship at the center. There was nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. They opened fire all at once, filling space with deadly energy beams. The Phoenix's shields held, but just barely. Alarms started going off all over the ship. "Shields at 30%, Danny reported. "They won't take much more of this." "Oracle, is the Nova Cannon ready?" "Charging complete, Commander." "Warning. Firing this weapon will drain all ship power. For 60 seconds, we will be defenseless during that time." 60 seconds of being helpless, Jake said. "That's a long time in a battle. It's a risk we have to take," Alex said. "Fire the Nova Cannon." The Phoenix stopped moving. Every light on the ship went out except for the emergency power. In the darkness, Alex could hear his crew breathing. Then the ship fired. The beam that came from the Phoenix was like looking at the birth of a star. It was so bright that the ship's cameras shut down to protect themselves. The beam spread out in all directions, hitting every enemy ship at the same time. When the light faded and the ship's power came back on, half the Zephyrian fleet was gone. Just gone, not destroyed, completely. Erased from existence. The remaining ships floated in space, their crews too shocked to move. In the center of the destruction, General Mordok's flagship was still there, but it was badly damaged. "Oracle, open a channel to the flagship." "Channel open, Commander." "General Mordok, this is your last chance. Surrender now or join your friends." This time the alien's voice was different, scared. "What? What are you? What kind of weapon was that?" "I'm a human," Alex said. "And that weapon is what happens when you make humans angry for too long." There was a long pause. Then Mordok spoke again. I surrender. My remaining ships surrender." Alex sat back in his chair. Around him, his crew was cheering and hugging each other. They had done it. 4 humans and an AI had defeated an entire Zephyrian battle fleet. Oracle, record this moment. Send it to every human world in the galaxy. I want everyone to see what happened here today. Recording and transmitting, Commander. Alex stood up and faced the camera again. This is Commander Alex Turner, speaking to all humans everywhere. Today, we proved that the Empire can be beaten. Today, we showed the galaxy that humanity is not dead. He gestured to the wreckage of the enemy fleet outside. 43 Zephyrian warships lie destroyed around us. Their most famous general has surrendered. This is just the beginning. Jake watched Alex speak and saw something amazing happening. This wasn't just one man talking anymore. This was the voice of free humanity, speaking for the first time in 50 years. To every human listening to this message, I say this: the choice is yours. You can stay on your knees and serve alien masters for the rest of your lives. Or you can stand up and fight for your freedom. We have given you the tools. We have shown you it can be done. The rest is up to you. Over the next few hours, responses started coming in from human worlds across the galaxy. On New Montana, miners were building weapons from the technical plans Alex had sent. On Far Harbor, farmers were turning their cargo ships into fighting vessels. On dozens of worlds, humans were standing up for the first time in 50 years. The Zephyrian Empire had ruled through fear. They had made humans believe that resistance was impossible. But Alex Turner and the Phoenix had broken that fear. They had reminded the galaxy that humans were survivors, fighters, and builders of impossible things. Pete was monitoring communications from across human space. Commander, we're getting reports from everywhere. Humans are rising up on 17 worlds. They're using your weapon designs to fight back. Good, Alex said. Oracle, set course for the nearest human world. We have a rebellion to lead. As the Phoenix moved away from the battlefield, Jake looked back at the floating wreckage of the enemy fleet. Somewhere out there, other alien species were watching and wondering. If humans could do this to the mighty Zephyrian Empire, what else were they capable of? The forgotten prototype had awakened from its long sleep. Humanity was free again, and the galaxy would never be the same. The war for freedom had begun, and this time, the humans were winning.